Well, it doesn't get any bigger than this. Riverside Poly and JW North going head-to-head come Friday night. It's the Riverside TV Game of the Week. You can watch it live on the City of Riverside YouTube channel and their Facebook pages as well. You can find the game at watchriverside.com and, of course, the television cable channels. Join us live in the Riverside TV studio right now to break down the Huskies and the Bears, because he's been on both sides of this battle. The great Dennis Brown, the head football coach at JW North. Coach, obviously, if anyone understands this rivalry between the Bears and the Huskies, it might be like someone like yourself. This is a big game, right, for a lot of different reasons come Friday night.
Definitely a big game. I mean, like you said, a lot of reasons. Obviously, the rivalry makes it big anyways, and then both of us are playing for, playoff position, and so it's big.
This is probably a loaded question, and I'm trying to set you up or anything, but, I mean, you led Riverside Poly to a CIF championship game. Does it feel different? Is it extra special leading North against a Poly team like this?
You know what? It's the same. I mean, it's just a big game, and it's the next game on the schedule, which we always talk about. It just happens to be, it's Poly, and so the rivalry has been, one of the longest lasting, and so it's a big game. I don't think it has anything. I was talking to the players. It's nothing to do with me. It's all about, their performance, and, we got to go out and play and, try to get ourselves in position to playoffs.
Like you mentioned, there's, we're peeling away the layers here because it's a big game for a variety of different reasons. Currently, you guys are tied for second place right now in the Inland Valley League, so the winner would have outright second place, and as close as you can be as a lock to make the playoffs. So in terms of just finishing your final league game of the regular season and trying to punch your ticket to the playoffs, just on that level, this is huge.
Yes, absolutely. And we talked about it with the team. It's in all essence, it is a playoff game because, the winner is for sure in. The losers kind of hoping on
the bubble,
things
right?
to happen, or maybe not, maybe you are. So, and then like you said, just the, addition of the rivalry of North and Poly. So it's big.
In terms of just coaching high school football and being in week 10 as we are right now, is it the goal just to be playing for something meaningful in that final week? I mean, it's one thing to be like, man, our season's over, let's just do it for the seniors. But now there's so much riding on this game. Could you ask for much more, I mean, going in this final week?
Yeah, you always want to be playing for, week 10, week 9, week 10, playing for the playoffs. And, that's your goal at the beginning of the season, is to make sure you're in the playoff, because anything can happen at that point. And so we put ourselves in position for that, and so has Poly. And so here we are in a big rivalry game that has a lot more to it than just that.
So you're coming off a tough game against Orange Vista. They're in sole possession of first right now in the Inland Valley League. That was a very good team, the Coyotes. What did you guys maybe do well? Maybe something you learned about yourself in this game that you can maybe apply going forward now in this Riverside Poly game?
I think, number one, we made too many mistakes to beat a good football team. You can't do that. And playoff football is that. If you make mistakes, you're going to get beat. And they did that. They took advantage of our mistakes, and they made big plays, and we didn't. So we have to control the football, and we have to make sure that we don't turn the ball over, limit other teams' possessions, and try to score points.
Speaking of controlling the football, I want to ask about some of your guys here. Of course, the quarterback, Nick Satcher, he's been around the program a long time. Jalen Hawkins, great receiver. You got a couple great running backs. But I want to bring up Venasio Mikaele because he's only a freshman, and we have video of him making this touchdown run in that Orange Vista game. There's something special about this kid, and you still have him for 3 more years. What can you say about him? And going back to controlling the game, if you're going to run the football, maybe try to keep the ball out of the Bears' hands come Friday night. I'm sure Mikaele and the other running backs are going to play an important part of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And the offensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime you're running the football, then the offensive line has a big say in that. But back to CO, is he's he just runs with an attitude. He kind of gets it. He knows, the game and understands it, and he's a physical runner, and he's he plays older than he is.
So going back to the line, are you a football coach who, in this time, in this world that we're living in, I guess in football, it's like the spread offense and scoring a ton of points. Do you feel like at the end of the day, if you could control the line up front and like run the football and control the line, you're going to have a chance to win a lot of football games?
We do. We feel that way, and we feel that if we can control the line and run the football, then it opens up the passing game, because now teams got to kind of come into the box with more guys, and then it gets one-on-one, possessions or things with our receivers, and we have receivers that are capable of, beating one-on-one coverage. So that's kind of the benefit of being able to run the ball well.
Keep that defense honest, right?
Absolutely.
On the other side.
Yeah.
How has the team changed, Coach, as the season has gone on? Because again, you kind of came on late on the scene. So I'm sure maybe there was some adjustment period. You went through non-league play. Here we are, week 10, with a chance to punch your ticket to the playoffs. Have you seen the change between, maybe the way you coach, or maybe the guys, how they're grasping what you want from them? I mean, have you seen a progression as the season has gone along?
We have. I think, if you watched us last week, you wouldn't think so. But, I think overall, yes.
Yeah.
There's definitely been a progression, with the way that, the kids, really it's us adjusting to them, and what they can do. And so I think we have made that adjustment. They have. But, now we got to go out and prove it on Friday night, so we got to have a great week of practice this week, and then come ready to play Friday, because we know that Poly will be ready to play. And so it should be a great atmosphere and a fun game to be a part of.
Yeah, it's a big-time rivalry game between the Bears and the Huskies. And again, so important this time around come Friday night on Riverside TV. Coach, let's leave on this, and this may seem like an obvious question, but what are the keys to winning the game? Not turning the football over, scoring more points. How about that one?
Yeah.
But what do you think are the keys when you play Riverside Poly on Friday night? If there's certain areas that you want to focus on to make sure you guys come out on top?
I think it's both teams. It's going to be establishing the line of scrimmage. I mean, who wins that battle up front's going to win the football game. And like you said, there's obvious things, but, the team that tackles better is going to win. And that's really what it's going to come down to, the line of scrimmage and who tackles better. So should be, like I said, should be an exciting game, great atmosphere, and, we're looking forward to Friday night.
As fancy as some coaches try to make it, sometimes it just boils down to the basics, right? Tackling, not giving the ball back to the other team, right? Just
absolutely
the simple things in football.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I say simple, but sometimes they're not so simple.
Simple to talk about, not to do sometimes.
That's right. It's the Bears and the Huskies Friday night live on Riverside TV for second place in the Inland Valley League. The winner will likely, almost a lock, to make the playoffs, so they'll be in very good position here. Again, watch it live on the City of Riverside YouTube channel, the City of Riverside Facebook page, on the TV cable channels, and watchriverside.com. Coach, it's always good seeing you.
Good to see you.
It's a big one between the Bears and the Huskies. Coach over here has been on both sides of this battle. It's going to be fun on Friday night, big rivalry game, and again, very important for both teams in terms of making the playoffs. That's Coach Dennis Brown. I'm Pep Fernandez. We'll see you next time on the Riverside TV Coach's Perspective.